Right, everybody, here we go for round 14 of the SLR T3 League. Hopefully today we do not fall asleep. Everybody, here we go. So I can hear myself. So, we're on board with Kostas, and obviously we can't see because everyone's messaging. I'm getting 50 million messages. We've got a few new people in the league today. That's a Berra is here. We were meant to have Jeff as well and Thomas. But unfortunately they're not here and I don't know why. So we've got a few naughty people who haven't turned up. Oh god. I explained that, but we're on board with Kostas because he comes through the middle sector at the Abu Dhabi. Hopefully he'll be hoping to see the fireworks for this round. As he comes around the final corner now, MEFC has done a 38.3 to start off qualifying, but Kostas, will he top the times? Yeah, he does a 38.2, very close between the two. Antonio Carlo is someone that we need to be looking at in the Ferrari, the Italian, in an Italian car. He's very quick, uses no assists himself. As Chrissy goes a 40.0, as John Hawkins splits the two, and Antonio goes pole with a 37.7, so half decent lap from him. Kostas did a 38.2, obviously, and John Hawkins done pretty much the same time, with Berra 38.3, MEFC 38.3 as well, so it's very close between second and fifth, so we might have a little bit of a ding-dong still. Is anyone out on track that we should be taking note of? Kostas isn't going for another lap. I think MEFC might be. Looks like he's getting it some. Coming through the final corner now. This tells me he's improving the fact he's finishing this lap, and he finishes and he does a 37.9 to get P2 ahead of Kostas, the double SLR champion now, as he claimed that last week. There's Kostas has only binned it going into the pit lane. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a development. The two-time champion is now out of qualifying. NCT goes with a 38.4. I think he'd be quite surprised to find himself down in 6th. But I think there's a lot more time in it. I reckon a low 37 could be pole. This race, but Kostas is out of qualifying, and that is the big news. As we've got Matteo, who's been fairly pacey recently, coming across the line now. We'll see what he can do. As he's starting a lap, in fact. Is anyone coming to an end to a lap? Possibly NCT. MEFC is coming to the pits, I think. So we'll keep on board with NCT. Or 0? No. NCT it will be then. as he comes around the final few corners now, and Killers has actually gone to pole with 37.3, and I said it would be a low 37, and he's gone and done that in the Toro Rosso. Matteo's getting all over the shop, but I'm expecting that time to come down from Antonio and possibly even MUFC as well. And I can't hope Berra could do that as well, as Matteo's going deep into every corner imaginable, and he loses the back end, and that's the end of that lap. We'll go on board with Zero, see what he can do. Finnish Toro Rosso driver coming through the final corner now, and he's going to come across the line, and he does a 38.9, just sneaks into 39.8 there. And Matteo, that would be pretty bad like that. Hitman's in the pits. So we're waiting for someone to be on the lap really. I think Zero could be. I'm not 100% sure. Matteo probably will go for a second run as well. A bit out of sync with the rest of these two. This would be pretty much his final run. He's got a minute to get in the pits and get out again, and I don't think he can do that. No, he definitely won't be able to do that. But Zero coming through now, he's got to get this lap nailed, and he's way off the apex there, it seems anyway, as he comes through this middle sector now. It's very deceptive, that right hander though. It can be very difficult in the braking because you're turning, and if you turn and brake then you're on a skid, and then you're in a bit of trouble. But he managed to negotiate that quite well. Now into the final few corners now. It looks like he probably is going to improve on that 30.9, but it's a pretty scrappy lap in truth, and he doesn't actually improve. John Hocking starting his lap. We'll have a look at Matteo, who's coming to the back end of his lap. I think he'd be hoping to have done a better lap than he did his first run, which was a pretty scruffy lap. And he comes across the line, and he's gone to P4 with 38 flat. So not bad from Matteo. I think the only person who's going to trouble Killers is Antonio at this point. I would say Kostas in that bracket as well, but he's out of qualifying and he's in P5 at the minute. We'll keep on board with Antonio. He's the person that could possibly challenge Killers. Going to turn one, braking now down into 4th gear. Turn the car in, really nice from Antonio there. And now into the flat out left, right, and then it goes left again into this section, which will now be going down to 4th gear. Ride the curb, now 3rd, get it turned in, really nice. Run the curb and then down into 2nd for the hairpin. Really quite wide there from Antonio, but I don't think it'll matter too much on exit, as we are now going down on the back straight, which moves over to the left hand side. As you see, the track will come away. As you can see, there's the line as the track goes away. Braking around the 100 metre board. And that is quite late from Antonio, and he just about nails that. You want to be getting as close to that curb as possible, hitting the orange bit on the inside. And now going down into the next corner in the 2nd sector, 100 metre board you're looking for. Getting down into 3rd gear, run the curbs, run as aggressive as possible without cutting. And into 3rd gear, and now into this flat out double right hander. And then you'll be braking down, trying not to get the car loose. and he does that nicely. This looks a very clean lap. And now into this last couple of corners, carry as much speed as you possibly can. MEFC's done a 37.6 with the track rubbering up for him. And coming through the final corner, this could be the pole lap. Don't run the curb on the outside. He hasn't done that, it seems, and he does a 36.9. And Antonio takes pole position by 0.4 of a second with an absolute stunning lap. In other news, we've got Sat Hitman coming across the line now. I don't know what kind of lap he did. Well, it wasn't a good one because he was last, unless it was invalidated. Yeah, it was invalidated. So here's qualifying order. We've got Antonio in P1, Killer in P2, MEFC P3, Matteo P4, NCT P5, John Hocking P6, Costas P7, Berra P8, 0 P9, Chrissy 10th, and Sant Hitman rounds out the field. So this should be a fairly interesting race. I think Killer and Antonio will be on similar pace in this one, and then the rest will have their own battle behind. But the start is pretty crucial. We've got the formation lap on. I think I remember to put the formation lap on, and yeah, so it'd be very interesting. Obviously, Killer's new to this league. Antonio's done a couple of community races before, but it's first league race. So we can. There we go. Switch the camera as we've got Antonio on the pole with Killer in second, MEFC in third, Matteo fourth, Hoyes in fifth, John Hocking in sixth, I think. I'm not 100% sure this is the order, but yeah, this is yeah. It should be a very interesting race. I'm hoping that Antonio and Killer can make a battle of it. And MUFC is known to have better race pace than quali pace, so he'll be hoping he can keep up. Matteo is shown bursts of speeds, but his strategy decisions are shocking. NCT, again, he's raced in T1, he's capable. John Hocking, former T2 champion last year, more is capable. Costas, double champion, crashed out of qualifying. He knows what he can do, he knows he's capable, and he's pretty much already snapped up the T1 opportunity he's going to get next season, which doesn't surprise me, because he's a very quick driver and should be there anyway. Really, Berra is in P8, T3, not champion but runner-up. He did fairly well. He wasn't here for most of the rounds, and that's why he didn't win it or challenge for it, and that's why Mugen will get the opportunity to race in T2 next season, but I'm pretty sure Berra will be here as well. We have Zero in 9th, Chrissy in 10th, and Sant Hitman, who's doing a little bit of a one-off. Kind of just asked me a minute before the race started, can I race? And because we had quite a low grid, I decided to lane race, so that's the grid. As we come to line up on the grid, yeah. So we've got 11 cars here today, only half field, but it should still make for an interesting race between the front lot. But here we go. to 5, red lights. Antonio's pointing away from the grid apparently, and it's lights out and away we go. They're all pointing quite away from the grid. Antonio gets a good start, so does Killers. Killers is going to go to the inside, Antonio around the outside. There's a little bit of contact. Antonio loses the back end, which allows Matteo to, and Antonio's had to back out. I think he's going across the track, and that's a disastrous start from Antonio, but we're going to close to the front as Killers and MEFC and Matteo going side by side. Matteo loses out because NCT with a little bit of an opportunistic move, and yeah, Killers is the one that gets away with it and leads this race, but the person who's lost out is Antonio for sure, who's now down into P10 looking to make a move on Chrissy pretty quickly. And up ahead we've got Silent Hitman, Zero and Bera all at it, with Kostas just ahead of them. NCT and Matteo holding up NCT a little bit, I'd say. He's looking for a move, not quite close enough as of yet. We've got the Force India of MEFC who can't quite keep up with Killers, who seems to be going off into the sunset at this point. There's already a second clear, but there's a little bit of a queue behind that. Bera has a second gap to Kostas, trying to keep up. And Antonio's made his way past Chrissy already, and John Hocking has also lost out with no front wing, but Antonio's still making gains as we've got a little bit of a battle between NCT and Matteo brewing. I'm pretty sure. And Kostas is looking for that move as well on the back of him. Barra is keeping up quite nicely. Zero's dropping back a little bit with Silent Hitman dropping back, and Antonio will be hoping to make light work of these guys up ahead, but there's a long way to go in this race as Kostas is looking to move on NCT, backs out of it quite smartly, and it looks like he's bottling up behind MUFC. Saying that, MEFC Matteo's dropped a lot of time as NCT looks to make a move, and Kostas closes up, and Bera with an opportunistic move, and he knew that wasn't ever going to work out, and NCT is making the move on Matteo, and now Kostas gets to make the move on Matteo, who's made an absolute shocker of a mistake. He's on the inside, and that could end in tears. It just about doesn't, as Bera, oh dear, goes down the inside of all of them, tries to go through the middle, tries threading the needle, should I say, and it ends in tears for Kostas and Bera. I think we've got half front wing now, and I think Kostas will make the early stop. No, he's going to carry on. Bera's lost half front wing. I think NCT will be okay with that in P3. Antonio's going to make that early stop with half front wing he's got. Ah, he's gone to Spain. Cool. But anyways, back to the old race. We had a bit of a ding-dong between Bera, NCT, and what was his name? Kostas. There we go. And didn't end well, going 3 wide through there. It was never going to end really that well. But yeah, we've got a bit of battle between Silent Hitman and Zero. I think Silent Hitman's just got past Zero, who's got half front wing himself, but they're having a bit of a wheel banging session, but I think Silent Hitman may get this round the outside, and it looks like he's just about going to do it as we're coming into view now. As the 3 cars there, there's a Chrissy Constant. No, it isn't Chrissy, it's Matteo who's dropped back. I'm presuming he binned it somewhere. He may have spun into the hairpin possibly, because I didn't see that, but you can see Silent Hitman getting all out of shape as in the background we've got Chrissy wide. And the gap's starting to spread now, but we've got the battle for these three at the minute between Matteo, Silent Hitman and Zero. I think Zero wants to get past Silent Hitman, who gets very close to the wall on the outside, but doesn't quite manage it. There's something really interesting that's quite happened is Killers may have binned it somewhere, because he's now got half a front wing. Has he clipped the wall somewhere? Because MFC has closed up an absolute treat, and I think Aldo is disconnected from his own session, which is great. But anyway, MEFC looks like there's going to be a battle for the lead here. MEFC will be chomping at the bit trying to get this as he hits that orange curb that I spoke about earlier that you really don't want to be hitting. The Silent Hitman went for a move on Matteo, I think, and I think he'll have to get that position back. Or did he even gain the position? I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. But Kostas making the gains I thought he would. Obviously he's got a half front wing, I keep saying about that. As the first penalty goes to Killers, as far as I've seen. And Zero picks one up straight after. Matteo is looking all over the back of Silent Hitman, but the lead battle is getting quite interesting. As John Hocking... No, Antonio's lost it again, should I say. As Killers makes his pit stop, but obviously he's got half front wing, and now it's MEFC's time to really put the hammer down and try and get ahead of Killers. But obviously he's going to get his front wing change, which will cost him around 2 or 3 more seconds as Antonio gets a 5-second stop and go, as he gets a second stop. Oh, he didn't even stop, you know what I mean? He just got one for corner cutting, I think, which will get removed, possibly, as Chrissy goes to Narnia. Matteo's in the pits, Killer's in the pits. I'm presuming Matteo may have changed his front wing as well. But that puts Berra onto the podium. We have Kostas just behind him. I think Kostas is just waiting his time at the minute. But if you've got half front wing, you might as well pit early, because you'll lose more time staying out than not. You know, so... yeah. It's all spreading out a bit. This is the battle to watch, though. There's, I think MEFC may have made a little bit of a mistake, because Hoy isn't not too far behind. If we could have a look what the gap to the leader is, that would be interesting. I'm looking at the wrong one. So Killers is 25 seconds off the lead. So that'll be fairly close between MEFC and Killer at this point. It'll be interesting to see if MEFC stays out or pits to try and cover him off. I think it pits up around 22 seconds, something like that, 22 seconds. I'm not 100% sure, but it'll be fairly close. MEFC really has to cover him off, and he doesn't. He actually stays out to run his own race. But if he wants to retake the lead, I'd recommend he covers him off. Just Kostas is looking at Berra, who had a little bit of a ding-dong early on in the race. Both struggling with the front wing, as Kostas gets a 3-second penalty for track extending there. And Silent Hitman's in P5 at the minute. Zero's making his first pit stop with Chrissy, which should promote Killers into P6. Now we're looking at the closest battle on track at the minute, as but NCT is closing in on MUFC, so he definitely has the pace, but catching is one thing, overtaking is another. As Kostas is right up the gearbox of Barrows, running on the dirty side of the track, which could hamper him as Kostas tries it around the outside. That is very brave, and he cuts the corner, and he'll probably have to give that position back. No? Maybe because he was heading the braking zone, I'm not sure. He definitely got a warning for him, I'm presuming. Let's have a cheeky look. Yeah, he got a penalty for it. Okay, that made sense. So he probably did have to give the position back, but NCT and MEFC are getting quite close. And if I was MEFC, I'd pit to try and cover off Killer, who is the person on tracks on the move, really. Oops, wrong button. If we have a look, gap to leader now. Killer has gained 5 seconds on these, so I don't know. There's a 40.1, which is quite quick, I'd like to think. As MEFC's in the 43s, I mean, that's quite bad. They needed to cover him off early to stop the undercut, and he hasn't done that. I'll try the overcut on him, what should I say? By 1 lap or something. He should have just covered him and frustrated Killer or something. I don't know. Made a little bit of a meal of it, but yeah, that hasn't happened. Barrow's now dropping back from Costas. The closest battle track is Zero's going to get past Chrissy for 9th place here. Chrissy goes deep. Zero's going to try switchback after switchback, and it looks like he's going to get him on this occasion round the outside. Is there a bit of contact there? No, I think it was just a little bit of lag, and going side by side for is very dangerous indeed, but Zero managed to go right around the outside of Chrissy there, so well done to him on that. I mean, I've got to congratulate him on that, because it's quite a difficult thing to pull off, as NCT is still right behind MEFC, and I shudder to think how much he's been held up, but he caught him pretty quick as he dropped back through the S's. I think he lifted, not sure. If we can get the telemetry on, then we'll get to see. Let me just check some other stuff as well. Keep an eye on this battle between NCT and thingy. Just wondering what the other stream's doing. Anyways, it's got a bit stale quite quick. There's not massive gaps, but there are enough to not make a battle out of it. Killer is definitely the person on the move. Antonio's 30 seconds off anybody, but I'd like to think he still has a chance of a point. So Costas gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, and NCT pits. T1's getting shots in. Anyway, NCT is in the pits with Costas. Killer's got past both of them, who's now going around turn 2, and so is Matteo. So that'll tell them where Killer is compared to MEFC. Okay, but it's interesting to see that one thing I didn't look at is the strategy of things. I think it maybe wants up ultra soft for the wheel users and super soft for the pad. So like rear silent hitman's gone super softs, and these guys are on the softs now. But one interesting thing is, Killers is doing a 2-stop, and that's for sure because he's got an ultra soft, and ultra soft won't go to the end. So if we look at Killer, he's gone. He's on about 4 laps at the minute. He'll probably go about 11 or 12, and he'll probably go super soft to the end. But he needs to pull a gap. So basically, he is where he's meant to be at the minute. In fact, no, because NCT and Zero both pit, so he'll probably be behind them two as well. So we've got a bit of a battle going on. I'm surprised Antonio didn't go soft, to be honest. My phone's dying. I've got a buzz. And John Hocking and Chrissy are getting a bit close at the minute. We'll see what they can do in terms of a bit of a battle. I think John will be quicker than Chrissy at this point. And this is for 9th place. And he's opening the DRS. And he's going to try it around the outside. I'm surprised he didn't do the switchback or something, but Chrissy's gone to Narnia. Watch out, John, because he's going to try it down the inside, and he's exactly done that, leaving no room whatsoever for John Hocking there, but it just about squeezed through. Bit naughty from Chrissy, but he's going to try it down the inside, I'm presuming. No, he doesn't. As MEFC has decided to pit, and I'm presuming he'll go soft. And Berra has decided to pit as well. So Hitman as well is following. As Killer takes the lead. I think Mateo will go to second. So Killer will be 5 seconds in the lead at the minute. We have NCT there. MEFC is only just coming out of the pits now, but on fresher tyres. As NCT's gone for these super soft tyres, so that's a bit of a difference in strategy. I don't think they'll get to the end. Whereas MEFC's gone softs, which will get to the end. And he's only around 11 seconds off Killer, so he's about 10 seconds in the lead net. I don't know what Killer's paces are right now. It's in the mid 41s, whereas Mateo is about 42s. NCT has done a 41.7 on the last lap, which is fastest. And I'm expecting MEFC to be around 42s, to be honest. So Killer shouldn't gain so much on this stint, but it's important for MEFC to keep up a decent pace. With Costas just in behind, obviously changing front wing, and same with Berra, who's now looking at 0. So we're getting a bit of a battle here, as I think Barry's going to go down the inside, is he? He's going to try it. It went wrong before. 0 tries to hold it down the inside. I think he backed out as we look at the wrong person. And he did, and Barra gets through clean into 7th place. And now we'll start looking at Silent Hitman, who doesn't seem to have much pace, but he's on the super softs as well. I mean, they might get to the end. Because MFC gets a penalty. Interested to see what penalties are out there. Killer has 2, MESC has 1. What about Mateo? Mateo has 1. Mateo usually gets quite a few, but it seems okay this week because 0 has a penalties. Sat Hitman has, I think he broke off front wing to decide to pit on the softs that he's on. Now going on the supers, so he can keep Antonio Carlo interested at least. Don't know. What's he doing? He's just sat in the pit. Oh no, he's gone. Well, bye bye, Silent Hitman, and yeah. Still around 11 seconds. The gap from MEFC to leader. And Kostas can be also in that bracket, and so can Berra. Possibly. 22 seconds. Berra will be a bit of a long shot. It depends what Berra can do, pace-wise. So any of these three drivers could still win this, technically, or get a podium. So Matteo's not going to go to the end unless we've got that tyre glitch, which we haven't. And Berra's gone. Yeah, but Berra probably going to make that. But the Supers are definitely the better tyre to be on, in terms of they last quite a while and they're not far off the Ultra Softs either. So NCT is trying to close down on Matteo as well. How long Matteo has been out? Let's have a look. Matteo has been on these tyres since lap 6. No, that's a lie. Since lap 6. That is not a lie at all. So he's been on about 6 laps. Killer's been on his since the same period. So maybe it's planned, I don't know. But the person who has the biggest chance of winning is MUFC if he keeps up the pace that he's on. What's Killer's pace like? Mid 41s. MUFC is a little bit faster on the last lap. Interesting. Hoyes was a bit slower. Kostask has been going faster, so Kostask is closing in on MUFC, and MUFC is closing in on the leaders, really, and that has to keep up. What's his latest lap? We're just going to keep an eye on lap times, I think, as like we did last week. 41.9, so that's a pretty bad lap. Whereas MUFC's done a 40.9, so a second quicker. Kostas did a 41.7, so he's dropped back a little. And MUFC's got another penalty. And then CT's closing in on Matteo. So MFC is about 10 seconds behind. Kilo has to pit again and he'll be on fresh tyres and absolutely blasting it in the end, but it's going to be fairly close. He's going to pit around lap 28, I'd reckon, for the Ultras. I think MFC may have this in the bag. Unless Kostas has something to do with it. And MFC is closing in on them soft tyres on MCT and Matteo. He really wants them to get out of the way because it'll halt his progress a bit. But he's got a real chance to win 2 races in 3, as he makes a little bit of a mistake there. As Killer has made his pit stop now, presuming he's going to make full use of super softs, then, not the Ultras. Mind you, he's been on them 10 laps. As Matteo makes the same pit stop, so it's 2 cars out of MEFC's way. And Kostas gets him, well, at Berra. I think he'll get Matteo. As you can see, there's Killer, and he's going to be quite close. And it looks like Killer's just about got ahead of Berra there into P4. It was extremely close. I said it would be close, and it really was in the end. And Killer's now got 7 seconds closing in Kostas, and then he's got to get MEFC as well, as I'm expecting NCT to pit again, possibly. When did he make his pit stop? So he pit on lap 8, and he's wanting to go 20 laps on supers. I don't see that happening. So I'm expecting him to go supers offs. As Antonio's making his way up to John Hocking, in fact. So he'll have a little bit of a battle. Kostas gets a penalty. But you can see Killers is just gaining so much. MEFC and Hoyes will be getting a little bit personal in a minute, I think. So we'll look at their lap times. It's interesting to see the soft tyre being better than these supers at the minute. It's doing mid 41s now, and he's in mid 42s, 42, something like that. So a couple of laps and he'll be right there. Even on this lap, under DRS could help. And Kostas is in this battle, and Killers will be there as well. So it's going to be a three-way battle, really. Kostas is closing, but it needs to close a bit faster. Kostas like been like, I'm presuming low 41s. Yeah, he's been going a little bit quicker. As Chrissy makes a pit stop, which allows Antonio to get into P9. And there's Kostas. As you can see there, the 4 cars. I'm expecting NCT to peel off into the pits fairly shortly. As we're getting a bit of lag. There's a Killer does a 39.9. That's 2 seconds is peeled off. Around 1.5, 2 seconds than that. So what did he do? He did a 39.9, did he? Yeah. He did a 41.9, so that's 2 seconds off. A second off on Kostas. What's penalties like? 2 penalties still. 2 penalties and 3 for Kostas. 4 for Kostas. Because MEFC really needs to get a move on, really. He needs to get past him. Because this is going to bottle up very quickly. NCT is not an easy car to pass either. I wonder if he's fighting it. He is fighting. I mean, where are you meant to go with that? One move, then the next. And he really needs to get side by side with him, as Kostas is closing up a tree. Don't try there, please, MUFC. He does try it down the inside. That's never, ever, ever going to work. She needs to be patient. Wait for the opportunity to come. As Kostas is bottling up. And Killers will be there soon. And it'll be a 3-way battle. He's done a 39.8 now. Which would be pretty scary for the cars behind. This Kostas is getting so much on MESC. And he's right up his gearbox. He's looking left, right, he's going down the inside into the hairpin. A little bit of contact. But Costas didn't get the exit, but he's got DRS, as we've got a little bit of an incident into sector 1, and it's Matteo who's span going the left-right complex zeros down there. And I think Killer's caught a bit too quick for Costas and MFC's liking. As Hoyes is working in tandem with them. And I don't know if Hoyes is going to the end. I mean, 20 laps. It's a bit of a push, that. Got 4 cars all together. And it's gonna really get heated. Especially with Killers joining the party. 8/10 back now off Costas in it. Costas 8/10 off of MEFC. MEFC 6/10 off of Hoyes, who stays out. I wonder how hard they'll make it here for Killers. Costas has run wide. He's having a shocker. And look how much Killer is gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining. Because we've got a bit of an incident in sector 3. We'll go to that now. I think it was Matteo again who's lost all his front wing. But Costas and Killer going side by side. Costas is going to try and go around the outside. Didn't work. Killer squeezed him out, and that's smart. He's picking them off. And he's balled it, really. He needed to get that move done. But Hoyes is impossible to overtake. It's bottling them up. As Matteo has retired, which promotes Antonio into P8. There's a MEFC go try down the inside on Hoyes. Didn't really work. Now Killer's going to try something, and Costas right there as well, trying a little bit too hard, as you can see. But we're going to go back on board with Killer. Will he try into here? He tried down the inside. That can only end in tears, really. He's trying around the outside, trying to do the switchback, but remember, he makes his car as wide as can be. And going into last final corners now, this is going to be pretty impossible to keep him behind, unless there's going to be an accident as he tries into the last corner. And that is a move by Killer into second place. And I don't think MEFC was that happy about that. And now Hoyes is the prey that Killer's going to go for. But the interesting thing about this is Killer's tyres will go at the end because he's on the supers. I'm expecting that he'll be on similar tyres to what Hoyes is on now. Shoddy tyres. And Hoyes is mid 42s, something like that. Whereas Killer is 41s all the way. Mind you, Costas can MEFC's fallen off a cliff, but these guys aren't going to go away because Hoyes isn't that quick. So Killer needs to do what MFC couldn't. And we all know how hard Hoyes defends, so going for a move could be quite dangerous. Hoyes defends well at the minute. And this could be quite an interesting development. Down the inside he goes. And that is not clean, I'm fair to say. But he made it impossible for Hoyes to defend. And I think Hoyes will peel off into the pits now, he's not leading. And there he goes. But Costas and MEFC will have a bit of a battle. And funnily enough, Berra's catching both of these guys on them supers. Just catching them, so we can have a three-way ding-dong here to MFC, Costas and Berra possibly. But we're going to keep an eye on Costas. And another person we can have a look at is Antonio Carlo, who's been slowly grinding away at John Hocking for 7th. Who's now pitting actually. And Costas is looking at MUFC around the outside possibly. No. And this is the only real battle on track. MFC's lagging all over shop. So we'll come off this battle and have a look at Antonio Carlo closing in on Chrissy, because that's inevitable. On fresh ultras, he looks up, and it's really weird how Antonio did a pole lap of a 36.9, and yet has been nowhere ever since. And it looks like Antonio is going to make that move in a second. Into last corner possibly. No, not quite. But he should be able to do it into turn 1 as Chrissy goes defensive. But, oh, bit of a ding dong there. And Chrissy finally lets go there. Bunny hop. And it looks like Berra's coming into to play a little bit here. And you can see the gaps are closing up a bit at the front. So we could have a three-way battle between Costas, MEFC and Berra. And Costas has been behind MEFC for some time now. And you can see how much that qualifying actually cost him. Because I think he could have won this. Because he's a lot quicker than MEFC, just needed to get up the road a bit and get a consistency going. And even with DRS is struggling a bit. His tyres look okay at the minute. And Berra can now see them quite close. He's under 2 seconds from these two. Just over now. It's tipping in the balance. It's Kostas is looking to make that move, but well, these two squabble. Berra closes, and MFC is going to struggle to keep onto this. 5 more laps with 2 cars behind him, and I think Berra may get these two by the end of this race. He's got the pace. I think it'll just come down to penalties, and we'll have a look where we are with them. Killer has 2. MFC has 2. Kostas has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jesus. And Berra has 1. So Kostas is either way going to be 4th. But he's going to try and make a fight out of this. And yeah. And unless NCT can gain 2 seconds a lap, so Antonio Carlo goes 39-1. Berra's definitely closing. He's under 2 seconds now. Needs a better last sector. Looks like he's getting that. Although the last corner is a bit all over the place. He's now at a 1.8 seconds behind. And Kostas gets another penalty. That's 6. So he's now got 18 seconds worth of penalties. As Berra gets a 10-second corner cutting penalty, and I think he may give up on that one as he's cut the corner, and that could be MUFC's little nightmare over now. Berra only had 1 penalty, and now he's 5 seconds behind, and yeah. As John Hocking has hit the wall hard, it seems, and is now out the race. He was in a comfortable P7, which now Antonio gets. Oh, Berra's got off front wing, that makes sense. And that'll probably get NCT into 5th. And it will, because he's coming to the pit lane. And now Kostas closing in on MUFC again. Still waiting for that move to happen. No, just waiting for it to. It's been this battle's been going on for quite a while, and that's about it really. For the last 10 laps or so, it's been fairly standard. As MEFC goes 2 laps to go, and I think the tyres may have gone off somehow. The mid 41s, they're not bad. They're very consistent mid 41s. So that might explain why Kostas isn't getting anywhere. Although again, he's gained quite a lot. But on exit, he is nowhere. And 0 is an MP5. They were talking about before the race that he'd probably bin it at some point. He hasn't done that so far. Well, Kostas now tries it right round the outside, and that is a brave move by Kostas, who's gone right round the outside. A really light move, almost Daniel Ricciardo-esque, but round the outside. I mean, that was quite unbelievable. As Kostas is getting a bit ding-dongy with MEFC, who's going to try it round the outside himself. And it works out for MEFC this time. And MEFC regains that position. 2 round the outside moves. Now will Kostas try into his danger left hander. People have tried before and it hasn't worked out. But Kostas gets it stopped. So a very good move from the 2-time world champion, SLR champion. I don't know what I'm bloody on about, but Kostas got that position again. Some brilliant driving from the both of them really. And now MEFC will be trying to get back at him fairly shortly. I'm pretty sure with 1 lap to go, Killer's 10 seconds now into the lead with this ding dong going on. We have 2 drivers really wanting this position. Obviously Kostas will have that 50-second penalty anyway, so we know he'll be in 3rd anyway, unless he might even be 4th. Hoyes hasn't even got a warning, so that will put Kostas in 5th really, 4th really, I should say. As MEFC tries it down inside, well I'm blabbering on as he looks for the exit, and he gets the exit. What an exit that is! And he's absolutely done Kostas, and he's going to try around the outside. We keep cutting to the wrong person, and MEFC has gone and done the switchback to regain 2nd place legitimately. And Berra could have been in this if he wouldn't have bottled it. But we're going to go on board with Killer, who has been fairly dominant. He had to come back through the field and he overtook pretty expertly, and he's going to come round the Belgium, and he's going to come around the final corner. He's going to get the fireworks, and he's going to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in his debut appearance. Well done to him. We've got MEFC and Kostas still going at it side by side as they come through the last corner, the nose and tail, but MEFC is going to get that position anyway and comes across the line in 2nd, Kostas in 3rd, and I'm expecting NCT to get that final podium spot. Doesn't he? He gets 2nd by 6,000ths of a second. 6,000ths. NCT gets 2nd place, and I didn't see that one coming. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Zero gets 5th, should I say. Berra in 6th, should have really been in 2nd after all that. Antonio has had an absolute shocker. Will come home in 7th, and I don't know how Chris is that far behind, to be honest. But Antonio will be happy to see the checkered flag, it's fair to say. And Chris is nowhere. And the 2 retirees, well 3 really, Sant Hitman, John Hocking and Matteo. And yeah, that's the end of that race. It was a more exciting race than last week. We had some really nice battles in there, some really nice moves as well from Kostas and MEFC and NCT, and Killer made some nice moves as well. So, and congrats to him as well for winning that race. After Antonio set the world alight in qualifying. And yeah, that is the penultimate round of this championship. The only person to not get penalties really was NCT. So well done to him. Barrett should have done a lot better, but look how close that is. 6,000ths. Unbelievable. But anyway guys, this is the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Next week we'll be at the final round to round out the season. Hopefully we can get a good turnout at Brazil. That's it. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I had a decent time at it, I'm not going to lie. And yeah, until next time, I'm the Nafrid7 and we're out of here. Goodbye.